That's all.
Mary is not just a daughter-in-law. I don't want to say that I love Mary more than the other wives of my sons. But the love I have for Mary is so strong. Why? The father and I were very close.
Since yesterday, a particular video has been trending online. Talk about the interview granted by Nollywood legend Edochie. And the particular scene that has been trending is actually where he talked about his son, Edochie. As you already know, Edochie some time ago, maybe last year or last 2 years, announced to the world that he has married a second wife. And that decision to marry the second wife did not just go down well with his first wife, May. Not just May, but her supporters and many people online. In fact, at a point, some of us began to wonder if Edochie is the only man that have taken more than a wife. You understand? And many have been expecting his father, who is a role model to many Nigerians, that expect Edochie to come out and state his position. Well, in the video you're about to watch, he has come out to say where he stands on this saga of his son, that his youngest son marrying a second wife. Watch the interview and we will be right back.
Oh, Unit 41. Good. I really don't interfere in his affairs. No. Suddenly we heard he's picked up a second wife, right?
You didn't know before he picked the wife up?
That is one thing you must know about me.
Right.
I don't lie. It's not necessary.
Right.
God created me so well. If I tell you this thing is black, it is black.
Right.
You know, it's like when he wanted to run for governor or something. When I saw his photograph, I thought it was a production they were doing. There was somebody who phoned me and said, you know something, Yul is running for governor. And I said, it must be crazy. How? I never heard it.
Right.
And I have 5 sons. I don't interfere with their lives, you know. If they say that so and so thing is happening, good. If they don't tell me, I don't bother. If they tell me, beautiful. We just heard it, and that's it, you know.
So you say you suddenly heard that he had taken a second wife. So you were saying you suddenly heard that.
Yeah, we did. You know, there is something we always say in Igbo. Onye kpata nkwu arụrụ si ngwele bịa tụọ onye ava. In other words, if you go and pick up ants-infested faggots, it's a direct invitation to the lizards to come to roost, right? Good. So, here I am, and that's all.
That's all.
Mary is not just a daughter-in-law. I don't want to say that I love Mary more than the other wives of my sons. But the love I have for Mary is so strong. Why? The father and I were very close. Yes, and when we went for the traditional marriage rites in their place, the kind of reception their people gave me, I will never forget. Mary is a girl I love to the marrow. By the way, she's a wonderful person. Mary is a very, very brilliant girl. You may not know that. Mary is a computer wizard, that lady you're looking at, right? And to a very large extent, the success of that home is to Mary's credit. Yeah. But again, you know, things like this happen, and it's so difficult to convince her that you are not part of, you know. Mary is a wonderful person. In fact, I just had my 76th birthday And the message she put out was so endearing, you know. Yeah. And Mary is a wonderful woman. A lot of people have been advising her wrongly, you know, trying to see if they can sunder the link between herself and her husband. Most of those women who are advising her that way don't have good homes.
I learned one thing. First thing. Your Edochie is a man and he has taken certain decisions. Does he have the right and power to marry more than a wife? Yes, of course. Um, According to the culture where he hailed from, he's an African, and here in Africa, a man can marry more than a wife. Polygamy is not a crime. And the question is, does he have the right to marry a second wife? I believe he does. Where the society may want to raise an eyebrow is if he is not responsible, he's not taking responsibility for marrying 110 wives. If he chooses to marry 200 wives, that is his own problem. It's not my problem. He's not married to my father's name. He's not married to my name. He's married to his own name and that of his family. So if he decides to marry 200 wives or 1,000 wives, he has right to. Now, there's something most of us here in Africa, particularly online in-laws, do not know. Number one, particularly where you Edochie hail from. You Edochie is an Igbo man. He's from Anambra State. By the custom where he hail from, the man marries the woman and brings to his own domain, his own land, his own culture, his name, his tradition, his ancestry. Not the other way around. The man has power. So long as he has power, he's the owner of the land. So he's free to bring anybody into the land. He's free to bring anyone. You know, in Christianity, they will say, man shall leave his father and his mother and cling unto his wife. That is false because in reality, it's not true. In reality, it's the wife that leaves her culture, her father, her mother, her culture, her background, everything, and come into another culture of the man and live by that culture, live by his name, by his ancestry. She's living where she's coming from. She's living her ancestry to another ancestry, which is that of the man. And the man, if the man has the power to bring you into his culture, his land, his tradition, his name, his ancestry, he's also free and have the same power to bring anyone he chooses. And so sometimes we watch so much Hollywood movies, believe it applies that way. It's not. It doesn't apply that way, and that's why when we see many people advising young ladies on certain things or saying certain things, they actually don't know that what is applicable in United States of America is not applicable to Nigeria. Nigeria, you have your own culture, you have your own tradition. Igbo tradition is not Yoruba tradition. Yeah, Yoruba tradition is not Hausa tradition. And put that together, Nigerian culture is not Ghanaian culture, it's not Ghanaian tradition. And so you don't expect what happens, what is obtainable here to be obtainable in US, or what is obtainable in US to be obtainable in Nigeria. If the young man chooses to marry second wife, he has his reason. And moreover, I'm not living in his house. I'm not a member of his household. I don't know how he lives with his family, how he lives with his wife. Do you even know if the wife has been a good wife to him? Well, from what the father-in-law said, she has been a wonderful person. In fact, she's the one he loves most. Though he tried to be careful because he has other daughter-in-laws, so he didn't want to appear um, to be praising one person. But obviously, from the way he was talking, she's actually his favorite. That notwithstanding, you cannot change. The father-in-law is not the one marrying her. It's you that is marrying her. It's you that is her husband. And so it's you that will decide if she's a good wife to him. And secondly, a man that marries second wife did not make this. You don't even know his reason. You don't know his reason. You do not know his reason. And so that is just that from here. It's not that personally I'm a pro polygamy person, no. But then, does he have the right to marry more than one wife? He do.